All right, so here we go. Yes, a big October patch has been confirmed by the dev team, and with it comes the end of Season 1. But what in the world are we going to be getting in Season 2? We got to talk about that, but also we got to talk about what we are actually not getting in Season 2. And by the way, yes, big things are continually happening around Space Marine 2. So if you're new, don't forget to subscribe to the channel to stay updated on all things Space Marine 2. Plus, the dev teams revealed changes that were not in the recent patch notes. We're going to talk about that, and a very big warning about keeping your expectations in check. I'm seeing a lot of stuff floating around right now. We're going to talk about that as well. Plus, we need to talk about a problem with relic weapons, and we're going over your top comments, but check this out right here. So yeah, check it out. I discovered this really cool open world monster hunting game called Marebo Go, and this one is actually really impressive. I really love also the art style, and there's a lot going on here because there's over 100 unique monsters to collect, and you can see that they're roaming in the wild. But as you go through the open world, you'll be taming these monsters, and you'll find that some of them are more aggressive than others, and each one of them has their own unique abilities. You'll also be able to use them on the attack and support you as well. But yes, base building is part of this, which is very, very cool. You'll be able to craft and cook and do all sorts of stuff. But yes, you're going to need to call on the aid of your monster buddies to help you take down very big bosses, as you can see right here. There's also really cool dungeons to explore. A lot here in this game, but yeah, as you can see, you can also capture these bigger monsters as well. That's pretty much the goal, to keep getting those rarer and rarer monsters as you go through this game. But yes, you could fight alongside your teammates. That is, friends can join you as well. This is a multiplayer game, so that is really cool. But yeah, this game is free. It's coming out on PC and mobile on October 10th. And get this, I'm teaming up with Marebo Go, and I'm doing something very special. Yes, so join me right now. Pre-register with your friends by clicking the link in the description below. And I am creating a special Discord and guild server with Marebo Go. So see that link in the description below. Join the official Discord server and my Discord channel within that server called Open World Games. And we will be able to play together on October 10th, when I will also be live streaming. So look out for that one. Hope to see you there. So yeah, what's going on with that big October patch? So it was confirmed out on the official Discord because there were a lot of questions around it. But this is what we know. Lens customization is targeted for the big October patch. But there's even further details that you may have missed about this as well. So when September ends, that is considered the end of Season 1. But October is going to be the beginning of Season 2, which runs until the end of 2024. And is going to be including a new operations map, a new enemy, a harder difficulty level, a new weapon, and various other improvements, Saber says. Now, the Season Pass owners will get new cosmetics based around the Dark Angels chapter, color schemes, heraldry, a weapon skin, and a champion skin, a unique full armor set for the Bulwark class as well. Now, Saber said to expect much more content added throughout 2025 as well, including new operations, PvP maps, and game modes like Horde mode, all for free elsewhere. Season Pass owners will also get a bunch of new cosmetic items related to iconic chapters. They plan to really fulfill a lot of the desires around those chapters as well. But yeah, October should be really interesting, and we should be getting more details about what to potentially expect from this next major patch. And hopefully we get the exact date for that brand new operation very, very soon. That's what I'm most curious about right now as well. But you know what? There were some changes that happened recently, and it was not mentioned within those patch notes. Check it out right here. It says, Relic Fencing Chainsword bug fix confirmed. And if we zoom in here, it says, I'm sorry to bother you again, but can you confirm if this bug with Aquilin Dedication Relic Fencing Chainsword has been fixed in the latest patch? Is this Relic Chainsword now properly behaving as a fencing weapon? There seems to be some confusion and uncertainty about this in the community since there was no mention of it in the patch notes. Thank you. And the response is this: yes, this issue has been fixed. So if you're scratching your head wondering if it has or not, well, you can have a sigh of relief there that yes, this has actually been adjusted. Now, a lot of you also venture into PvP, and you've probably noticed that there has been some occasional cheaters heading into PvP. Or I don't know, maybe there's a lot. Let me know how you guys are faring in PvP right now. But we do have some updates about what they're planning on doing with cheating. In fact, they're asking for your help Check it out right here. It says, hello, we are aware that there are cheaters in multiplayer and we apologize for the inconvenience. If you come across any, please report them here. I'm going to throw this in the description down below so you can actually report any cheaters that you come across, and they do need some info. So yeah, go ahead and go for it if you do actually come across those cheaters. But you know what? There's also a lot of rumors swirling around, a lot of speculation that I'm noticing cropping up here. And yeah, I do get the hype around certain things, but we also have to have a reality check because it seems like a lot of you guys missed out on what the devs has said previously. So check it out right here. Hear me out. What if? It says the Horde mode coming is actually a rug pull and it's Necrons. That is all for the Emperor. And he actually links to this article right here that says Warhammer Space Marine 2 devs fought to include its Necron level. But this is the most important bit right here because it leads into what the developers have actually said about this. It says there's new enemies forecasted with the roadmap. Totally could end up being Necrons. But you got to remember, Saber Dev already clarified that the new enemy means a unit, not a faction. And that unit type, they did say and clarified that this is within the current existing mold of the game. That it's either going to be Tyrannid or Thousand Suns. And this is by far the most important bit of information because it leads us into official comments from the dev team. It says this, there's new enemies forecasted with the roadmap. Totally could end up being Necrons. Hold up now. We have this comment here. Saber Dev already clarified that the new enemy means a unit, not a faction, which you got to remember what the dev team has said previously. Check it out. Here's our creative director who says, it'll be the new enemies for the existing factions in the game. Adding a new faction would be a huge undertaking for this game. It's possible, but resource intensive and would require narrative justification. Space Marine 3, however, is wide open for new factions though. So yeah, keep your hype levels in check. If you hear someone saying, hey, Necrons are coming to Horde mode or as the new enemy types as stated on the roadmap, that is just not the case. Those new enemy types are also confirmed to be within the existing factions already in the game. But yeah, I do get the hype and I do understand where it's coming from because articles like this says Space Marine 2 devs fought to include its Necron level, which, you know, if they're going to put a Necron level in there, why wouldn't they just put Necrons in? But you got to dive deep into the actual article itself and find out what the devs actually had to say. And the article goes on to say, as it turns out during the level, Demarium is actually a Necron tomb world. In other words, one of the many planets where an ancient alien species lies underground in stasis. And as you can imagine, they've been bothered by the Adeptus Mechanicus. This revelation is just one of many ways that Saber showed off some of the lore of 40K. Its inclusion in the game was a matter of debate for the developers though. It would be fair to say that Dimitri and I had to fight quite a lot for that to be in there. There was a concern raised by one group at one point that we were putting too much in the game. It was almost becoming a kind of 40K fancy dress party in their minds. So if they were struggling to include a level, which you got to remember, a level doesn't have a lot of AI programming required, just imagine what it would take to get an entirely new faction into the game, because that requires even more work because of the programming around levels, maps, that sort of thing. Yeah, that would be a lot. So it goes to show, keep your hype levels once again in check when it comes to things like a whole new faction being added in the game. But yeah, it would be cool to see, but I think that that sort of thing would be reserved if a bigger expansion was approved way down the road, or yes, for Space Marine 3. Now we got to talk about relic weapons because we have this right here. It says relic weapons should be the undisputed best variants in the game. Basically, just what the title says. I just started playing a Bulwark and just now really got to thinking about the topic, even though the issue is still present with other weapons. Above are the stats of the 3 different variants of the fencing power sword for anyone who needs a visual of the stats. They are as follows. For the Master Crafted Power Sword, you get 6 in strength, a 4 in speed, and a 3 in cleaving. Pretty normal stats, if you ask me. Now let's move on. For the Artificer Power Sword, you get an 8+ in strength, a 2+ in speed, yikes, and a 3+ in cleaving. If anyone already can't see the issue, I'll show you another example. For the Relic Power Sword, you get an 11 in strength, a 7 in speed, but a measly 2 in cleaving. Now, why does this happen? Why is the Artificer version slower than the Master Crafted version? And why does the same sword have a better cleaving potential than the relic sword, aka the better version. I'll demonstrate further why this is an issue to me by hitting you all with some statistics. To go from standard issue level to master crafted level, it takes 1500 experience. This is equivalent to 3 minimal ops, 630 experience each, 2 average ops, 945 each, and 2 substantial ops, 1260 experience each, and 1 ruthless ops, that's 1890 experience each. Then to go from the master crafted to artificer, it takes about 6,000 experience, which comes out to 10 minimal ops, 7 average ops, 5 substantial ops, and 4 ruthless ops. Finally, to go from artificer to relic, it takes 9,500 experience. This means you need to play 16 minimal ops, 11 average ops, 8 substantial ops, or 6 ruthless ops. Damn, this guy has done his homework. Now, of course, this can change from game to game depending on if you have the best stats in any category and if you get a gene seed, but these are the minimum numbers. That means to go from standard issue to relic, it takes about 11.3 times more experience than it does to go from standard issue to master crafted. So keeping all of this in mind, why does the relic fencing power sword have a lower cleaving potential than its master crafted counterpart? Sure, it's only 1, but it should be 0. In fact, the relic power sword should be better in every single way, and I should see greens across all stat bars. You all 1 better. The pictures you see are taken in comparison to the standard issue version of the power sword, and even then you can see the relic version loses 2 cleaving potential to it. I'm essentially paying to sacrifice a stat, and yes, while the much higher damage and speed make up for it, there still should be absolutely no downside to using the best version of any given weapon. This example was the power sword, but the same goes for every other weapon in the game. Some of the better variants of the weapons in this game lose stats compared to the objectively worse counterparts, which can easily be seen by checking the stats of each. This makes no sense because the higher level weapons are much more difficult and time consuming to unlock. Therefore, they should be better in every single way. And here's the examples he was referring to, as you can see right here. Yeah, you know, he is 100% correct in my mind, and a lot of the community also agree about this as well. If you're going to put that sort of time investment into upgrading your weapons, it should definitely be more of a payoff. You shouldn't have to really worry about any negatives in that regard. Let me know if your take on this, if you agree or not. Sound off in the comments down below. But yes, now it is time to go over your top comments. Remember, leave a comment down below. It could end up right here in a future video, but let's do this. All right, we have this one right here. Everything isn't for everybody. We all want 40K to grow, but you don't come in here and touch the lore. A lot of you guys really want to preserve the lore, and I totally get it. You know, I've covered Star Wars Battlefront, the Star Wars movies, all that stuff, and I have seen what has happened within the Star Wars universe and how screwed up that has gotten. Yes, leave the lore as is and preserve it. That is so important going forward with Warhammer 40K. I really hope also Amazon is really in tune to this as well, because there's 45 years of lore here for this franchise. It's very precious. And yeah, this comment says the same thing. The lore is the most important part of the setting. It's why the game is as good as it is, for fuck's sake. And we have this one. The screw the lore people are the same people that destroyed Star Wars. Yep. Yeah, I hear you. I get it 100%. Please, for the love of God, stop saying 1,000 suns. I can't believe I said it. I got it right at the beginning of my previous video. I hope I didn't screw it up again in this video. If I did, dude, I'm going to get it together on that one. Damn, I don't know what's wrong with me. And we got Dr. Nope celebrating that they're adding MK6 and 7 armors to the game. That's only according to leaks, by the way. That has not been 100% confirmed. And he says, hopefully we get more Horus Heresy arrow stuff too. But aside from that, aside from some of the basic stuff with armor customization for loyalists and traders, I hope that's where they stop with the lore inaccurate stuff. The lore is really important to 40K. It's what makes it unique. I don't want it to get like Call of Duty and Battlefield, where they are adding like Nicki Minaj and Santa Claus skins. But yeah, I've hardly been staying up to date on Call of Duty for that reason. It's just turned to something completely different. I personally, if I boot up Call of Duty, I'll boot up Call of Duty 4 or something like that, simply because those are my go-to Call of Duties. But anyway, I'll play it also maybe for the single player campaign, that sort of thing. But yeah, There it is, the latest happenings around Space Marine 2. As promised, I have you guys covered on this one. Stay tuned for more updates as we head into October. Should be really good. That's going to be the start of Season 2, so look out for more news about that one. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all next time. Take care.